Hi everyone, this is a review of the brand new wax melts from Joann Fabric. They're called Hudson 43 brand, and they are made by Tuscany Candle. There are 24 new scents. A couple of them are Tuscany scents, I think like fruit smoothie. I don't know, maybe a cafe au lait is one of them. Actually, they sunflower fields, maybe sweet pea, vanilla sea salt. I think only a couple of them are Tuscany scents. Now, I'm not really a huge fan of Tuscany because you a lot of times their wax melts don't throw that well. But I really liked these scents, and in general, the throw was actually quite good. And the scents are really good, and um, they the regular price is $6.99, but they never charge that much. Like they always have a sale. It's just a marketing ploy. So I think they're always like, I don't know, 3.20, either $3, 3.20, 3.49. I forget exactly, which is still a little on the high side, but some of these are really worth it. So yeah, definitely worth giving them a shot. So I'm going to start with my review. If you've never seen my reviews before, I don't actually look at the scent. I mean, even though in this case the scent notes are right on the label, I try not to look at the scent notes until after I've done my review because I don't want to be swayed by what I think the scent should smell like. So, yeah, I'll get started. So the first scent we have is Apple Crisp. And the scent notes are, go. Gotta move that over a little bit. Okay. Scent notes are crisp apple, vanilla, and cinnamon. Nice bright red color. This is a fantastic, crisp, very sweet, authentic apple scent. There may be a hint of vanilla in the background, but it's not a bakery, cinnamon, or cider scent at all. This is actually one of the better apple scents that I've smelled. Looking at the notes, I don't detect cinnamon at all, but when it was melted, it did take on a hint of a bakery note. Apple scents are usually strong throwers, so it's unusual that this one wasn't, especially since it's quite strong on cold sniff. The throw is mild, like a 2.5 out of 5. It would do well in a very small room. So it was kind of disappointing, but again, if you have a very small room you want to use this in, this might do well. Birch moss. Notes are birch, oak, moss, and musk. Okay, well, this scent smells nothing like I expected it would based on the scent name and the notes. And when I sniffed it at the store, I actually sniffed several to make sure that I didn't have one with the wrong lid, because the lids do come off completely. So I thought, well, maybe, but thankfully, these are kind of color coded because the wax color sort of matches the label color, which makes it easy if you mess up and you can't figure out what lid goes on what, you can pretty much figure it out. So yeah, this is nothing like the scent name. It actually smells kind of like pink sugar, which is a very sweet girly scent with notes of cotton candy, lily of the valley, vanilla, musk, and raspberry. In fact, it smells a lot like Sensational's Girlfriend Night. It's a super tooth-achingly sweet marshmallowy candy type scent with apple and a very sweet gardenia type floral, vanilla, musk, and a hint of raspberry, which also happens to be the scent notes for Pink Sugar Perfume and Sensational's Girlfriend Night. It's a fantastic scent. I love these super sweet girly type scents. Looking at the notes, which is birch, oak, moss, and musk, the only one that I detect is the musk. There are 0 woodsy or mossy notes at all. And the throw is strong. 3.5 out of 5 would do well in a medium to a large room. So this one for me is a winner. Next we have bourbon vanilla. Notes are oak, aged bourbon, maple syrup, and vanilla. This is definitely a bourbon scent. but it doesn't have that odd sour fermentation note that a lot of alcohol type wax melt scents have. It's a very sweet, a very rich, sweet scent of maple with a little bit of cloves and caramel, as well as vanilla and the very slightly smoky bourbon note, and maybe a smidgen of a black pepper note. The combination of notes makes it smell basically like burnt maple, but in a really good way. Looking at the notes, I don't think I smell oak or any woodsy notes. And the throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. Cafe au lait. Notes are dark roast, cream, and vanilla. On cold sniff, this might be one of the best coffee scents I've ever smelled. In fact, and it's crazy strong on cold sniff. Like I can actually, it's closed right now, and I can actually smell it kind of like in the room. It's that strong. Again, on cold sniff, it has just a tiny bit of bitterness, just enough for authenticity. It also has a hint of a mocha chocolate note and a sweet, milky, creamy vanilla note in the background. The sweetness is subtle, so it's not a typical sweet coffee scent with a bunch of other notes mixed in. Although when it's melted, I do notice the mocha and the chocolate a bit more. And it does change a little bit when it's melted. It's still a great scent. It's just not as, I guess, not as rich or not as intense when it's melted as it is on cold sniff, but it's still fantastic. Although the melted throw is very strong, I expected it, based on the cold sniff, that it would just be a 5 out of 5 scent monster that would take over the entire house. But it's not. The throw is 4 out of 5, which is very strong, which is still perfectly okay. It's not going to like totally knock your socks off, but it might, depending on how big your rooms are. So this would actually do well in a very large room. So yeah, this is a winner for me. I love this scent. Charmed Ivy. Notes are English ivy, oak, moss, and musk. I'm noticing a theme here. A lot of their scents have that moss and musk note, and you'll see later on that is the case. This is a nice, interesting scent with a green, mossy, herbal note, along with a hint of like a hothouse gardenia, the warmth of amber and mahogany, and a cologne note. The throw is mild, though, would do well only in the very small to a small room. It's like a 2.5 out of 5. Next we have Coastal Winds. Notes are lavender, sea salt, and linen. This is an oceany water scent with a bland note, like a cucumbery type note, or like a cucumbery aloe type note. It also has a hint of a sweet cologne note, even though the scent itself is not all that sweet. It's just that one note that is, and that hint of a sweet note keeps the entire scent from being too bland. Looking at the scent notes, which are lavender, sea salt, and linen, maybe there's a barely detectable smidgen of lavender way in the background. Yeah, actually, I think I do kind of smell that. It's not that apparent, though. If I didn't know lavender was supposed to be in there, I probably wouldn't notice it. I definitely don't detect any linen or laundry notes at all. This scent is just it's just okay for me. It's not one of my favorites, but the throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. Next we have Fall Festival. This one might be a dupe of a Tuscany scent. Its notes are warm spice, musk, and tangy cinnamon. This is a wonderful, sweet, rich, warm, spicy fragrance of cloves, cinnamon, nutmeg, and brown sugar. It's not overly cinnamony, and it's not a bakery or pumpkin pie type scent despite the nutmeg. There could also be a barely detectable, like a smidgen of patchouli way in the background because there's something that's just a tiny bit, and most people probably won't notice it, tiny bit incensey or perfumey way in the background. Like, yeah, like patchouli-ish or incensey. Again, that could just be the cloves, possibly. It probably is the cloves. Looking at the notes, oh, that's the musk. There we go. Warm spice, musk, and tangy cinnamon. So yeah, I guess I do detect that just a tiny bit. I'm actually not a fan of a lot of spicy fall type scents. And again, this one is not that spicy. Doesn't have that much cinnamon in it, but I really, really like this one. And it might be because of that perfumey note, which again is very subtle, but it just adds something, adds a richness to the scent. And the throw is 4 out of 5. Very strong. So yeah, even though again it's just like you think it's just another fall scent. No, it's a good one. It's definitely a good one. Next we have Fruit Smoothie. This is a Tuscany scent that goes way back. The notes are strawberry, blueberry, and raspberry. This is a super sweet strawberry scent with a marshmallowy note. I think there's also a bit of raspberry in there. It's not a totally authentic scent, but that's okay because it smells fantastic. Looking at the notes, I don't really detect blueberry. No, I don't detect blueberry. Again, it's kind of an artificial fruity berry scent, but it's still very nice. And the throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. Next, I better hurry up here because it's taking long. Kitchen herbs. Notes are fresh cut herbs, lemon, and mint. This might be the most authentic savory herbal scent I've ever smelled in a wax melt. I smell rosemary and a hint of lemongrass along with a smidgen of a very slightly sweet herb. It has a bit of like an upscale spa quality, although not quite since it's more savory than sweet. Looking at the notes, the very slightly sweet herb could be the garden mint, although I don't detect mint per se. It's a fantastic natural herbal scent, but really, really disappointingly, this one has the worst throw out of all of these. Like poor, like a 1 out of 5. Like I can only smell it like a few inches to maybe like a foot away, which is so disappointing because it's such a fantastic scent. So, that happens sometimes, but yeah, if that were a strong thrower, I would be hoarding it. Next we have Lakeside Willow. And the notes are meadow grass, linen, and bamboo. This scent is somewhere between a cologne men's body wash scent and a fresh, slightly watery scent with light wood and herbal notes. It's a nice subtle scent. It's not overly sweet. Looking at the notes, I don't smell linen or any laundry notes. And the throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. I have a lot of scents like this, so it's a great scent. I just have a lot that are similar to this. Magnolia Breeze. Notes are magnolia petals, hyacinth, and jasmine. This is definitely magnolia, which smells a bit. One thing I want to mention is these the labels are kind of throwing me off a little bit because I keep wanting to take the cat hair off of them or to take the whatever it is, there's something on, but it's not. It's just a design. Like there's these lines that are going through, which I guess are supposed to be like marble, but I keep thinking that there's something on them. Anyway, okay, I digress. This is definitely magnolia, which smells a bit like rose with a hint of lemon. This one also has a bit of a soapy note and a smidgen of bitterness, but not enough for me to not like the scent. And when it's melting, I detect a tiny bit of a baby powder note. Comparing this to Sensational's Magnolia, that scent is sweeter and with much more of the rose note. Goose Creek Candle Blooming Magnolia is definitely more lemony. And Swan Creek Magnolia Mist is the most lemony of all, being primarily lemon with the floral note. I love all of these scents, although I do like the stronger lemony note in some of the other brands more. But I actually also like that smidgen of the baby powder note in this scent more. So again, I like them all for different reasons. And the throw is 4 out of 5. Very strong. So this one is a keeper for me. Mahogany Suede. Notes are mahogany, rich teakwood, and suede. This is a warm, rich mahogany wood scent, which is mahogany is like a deep woodsy scent, but not a typical raw wood type note, more of a warm, classy, ambery type of wood. So I'm smelling that, mixed with a fresh, oceany, slightly men's body wash note. It's a fantastic scent, and it's not overly sweet. It smells like Better Homes and Gardens mahogany and sandalwood, which is, I believe, is the same scent as Bath & Body Works mahogany teakwood, but it smells like the Better Homes and Gardens mahogany and sandalwood, but with the addition of that fresh note. So although it's similar, it's not the same. Throw is medium, would do well in a small to medium sized room, like a 3 out of 5. So it's definitely not a scent monster, but still it's a fairly good throw. Next we have Papaya Mango. And the notes are papaya, mango, and ginger. This smells like juicy peach, and mangoes do have a spicy peach note and sometimes a hint of pineapple. So it smells like juicy peach with a little bit of tartness from the papaya. And papaya contains the papain enzyme that has an unpleasantly pungent, bitter note. But thankfully, there's only like just a little bit of tartness from the papaya in this. I'm not a fan of peach scents in general, but this one doesn't have that cat pee note that a lot of peach scents tend to have. And the papaya note is quite subtle, so I actually like this scent. Looking at the notes, I don't detect ginger at all. And the throw is very strong, 4 out of 5. So if you like these types of peachy type scents, or even tropical type scents, that one's for you. Another peach scent, Peach Prosecco. The notes are peach, passion fruit, and sparkling grapefruit. I smell peach, but it's not, again, not a bad cat pee peach smell at all. It smells like the fuzzy outside of a real peach. It's different. It's totally different from papaya mango. It's like the fuzzy outside of a real peach with a fresh, crisp apple note and maybe a hint of a floral. There's also a smidgen of a sour or bitter note, which actually works well. And that sour or bitter note is supposed to be like probably the alcohol. It works well in this scent and makes it smell more authentic. When it's melted, it's not as sweet, and I don't detect the apple note, and it takes on a smidgen of that slightly musty champagne note with a lot of alcohol-based scents have. Though it's not nearly enough to ruin the scent. Looking at the scent notes, the smidgen of bitterness is probably the grapefruit. I'm not a fan of peach scents, but I do like this one, and the throw is very strong, 4 out of 5. Peony Blossom. Notes are peony, spring rain, and rose. Peony scents often have a rose note, but this one doesn't. It's a very sweet, almost nauseatingly so, rich floral with a hint of musk and maybe warm cashmere, as well as foodie notes of vanilla and super sweet caramel and maybe bourbon with maybe a hint of honey, although it's not really a foodie scent either. It's kind of like pink sugar, but with no fruity notes at all. I adore this scent. Looking at the notes, I don't detect anything fresh or watery at all. No spring rain, anything like that. And the throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. So this one, yeah, fantastic scent. Pineapple Ginger. Notes are pineapple, ginger, and citrus. And I really don't like when they make the labels so light, and then the font is also light, and you can't even read it. But I was able to determine that, yes, the notes are pineapple, ginger, and citrus. I'm not a fan of pineapple scents, but this one smells like super sweet, thirst-quenching pineapple juice, so I like it. And unlike most pineapple scents, there's no coconut in this one, at least I don't think so. Zero ginger notes though, which is actually a good thing because I'm not really a fan of ginger scents. So yeah, if you like pineapple scents, this one is fantastic, and the throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. River oak. Notes are oak moss, cypress, and musk. There's that moss and musk note again. Like the birch moss scent that I reviewed up here, like that scent, this scent is not at all what I would expect based on the name or the scent notes. Again, like birch moss, it's a super sweet, perfumey scent that smells like gardenia, lily of the valley, and a bit of vanilla, and a tiny bit of a candy note. It's a fantastic scent. It smells a lot like the birch moss scent, although that scent is even sweeter. That scent has an apple note that this scent doesn't have, and this scent is a little more perfumey with a bit more of the floral note than birch moss. Looking at the notes, they're very similar to birch moss. The birch moss notes are birch, oak, moss, and musk, and this scent's notes are oak, moss, cypress, and musk. So obviously their moss note is actually pink sugar. The musk note is most likely the gardenia type scent, which is also present in their charmed ivy scent, which also has a gardenia type note, and the oak note is probably the amber-like mahogany warmth that gives it a hint of a vanilla note. The throw is medium, would do well in a small to medium sized room, like a 3 out of 5. Next is sun-dried driftwood. Notes are sandalwood, birch, and sea spray. This is a classy scent of sweet cedar and light wood with a hint of a cologne note, a tiny bit of a bland ivory soap note, but in a good way, and possibly, but maybe not, possibly a barely detectable smidgen of leather, maybe? I don't know. It's like walking into an upscale furniture store. It smells just like Better Homes and Gardens pure white woods. I love it, and the scent lasted all day, at least 10 hours, probably would have gone longer if I hadn't turned off the warmer, and the throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. So, yeah, winner. Next is sunflower fields. Notes are sunflowers, linen, and green wood. Well, first of all, real sunflowers don't have a scent at all, at least nothing floral. So I have to laugh when I see like a candle or wax melt that says sunflowers. I'm like, they don't smell. I mean, they do have like kind of a slight earthy, woodsy, maybe type scent, but no, they really don't have a scent. This is a super sweet scent of gardenia and maybe jasmine with a little bit of a musky note. Not musty, musky, M-U-S-K. I adore super sweet floral scents, so of course I love this one, but there's also something way in the background that's barely noticeable, almost like a dry down note that smells a bit like mildew, but it's so subtle that most people won't even notice it. I notice everything because I have like a super, I don't know, my nose is like a dog's nose, I guess. Looking at the notes, I don't detect any linen or laundry type notes, which seems to be the case with a lot of their scents that have the linen and laundry type notes in them. I just don't smell that. I also don't smell woodsy notes at all, although that dry down note could be like a mossy wood instead of a mildew, possibly. Fantastic scent. This is a keeper. Throw is very strong, 4 out of 5. Next is sunset palm. Notes are wild orchid, bamboo, and aloe. This is a beautiful scent that smells like super sweet gardenia, but with a hint of orange blossom or neroli, which I love, that gives it just a smidgen of a copper tone suntan oil note. Despite the gardenia note, it's sweet, but it's not overly sweet. And there's something else in there that's tempering the sweetness, maybe like a wood, but it's also not a woodsy scent at all. Looking at the scent notes, bamboo and aloe are bland, watery, almost cucumbery notes, which I don't like. But this scent doesn't even have a smidgen of that type of note in it, although that could be what's tempering the sweetness. I love this scent, but the throw was faint, like a 2 out of 5. I could only smell it from like a few yards away, so it might only do well in a very tiny bathroom. So that was kind of disappointing. Next we have sweet pea, and I believe this is also regular. This is a regular Tuscany scent. Notes are sweet pea, rose, and peony. So yes, this is a sweet pea floral, and if you've smelled other sweet pea scents, you know that's what this is right away. But this one is richer and with a bit of a fruity note that other sweet pea scents don't really have. There might be like a smidgen of cherry or even a smidgen of watermelon, and maybe also a fruity note like vanilla. It's actually very nice. Looking at the notes, I don't smell rose. Throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. Next we have vanilla sea salt, which I think was an old Tuscany scent. Notes are sea salt, vanilla, citrus, and flower. This is very similar to the coastal woods scent that I reviewed up there. Probably because they both contain that sea salt note, which I've discovered that I don't like. This scent is bland and aloe-y, like aloe as well, like the coastal winds scent. But this one doesn't have that sweet cologne note that the coastal winds scent has. It's also a bit salty and has a hint of black pepper. It's not sweet at all. On its own, it's quite bland, like a salty, peppery cucumber, although it's not savory or zesty. I think it would work well as a mixer to tone down like cologne or floral scents that are too sweet, or even to mix it with lemon or savory scents that are too zesty. Looking at the scent notes, I don't smell any of them. I do smell the sea salt. I don't smell vanilla, citrus, or flower at all. And the throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. So this one, I didn't really care for it. Washed beechwood. Notes are teakwood, tropical flowers, and coconut. This is a lovely, soft, subtle men's cologne scent that's not overly sweet or harsh. Might have a smidgen of lavender and leather. It's very similar to... There's another scent that I reviewed. Which one was it? Was it River Oak? Now I'm not really sure. There was another scent that I reviewed that I thought had... What the heck scent was it? I don't remember. It was one of the scents that I reviewed a little earlier that had lavender in it. Anyway, I think this one was kind of similar to that one. Coastal winds. Oh yeah, so it's a little bit similar to coastal winds, but it's not the same scent. It's, like I said, a subtle men's cologne scent. It's not overly sweet, not overly harsh. Might have a smidgen of lavender and leather, possibly. It's very similar to Sensational's Black Tux, although it has very similar. Although it has a slightly soapy note that Black Tux does not have. I love this scent, and the throw is strong, 3.5 out of 5. And last we have white lavender. Notes are lavender, jasmine, and coconut. Interesting combination. I smell lemongrass, zesty lemon, and lavender. It's a zesty, kind of savory scent with barely a smidgen of sweetness, if any. There's also something else way in the background that I can't figure out. Maybe coconut, which after looking at the scent notes, that's exactly what it was. It would be a spa scent, but it's a bit too lemony, which is perfectly okay because this scent is absolutely incredible. Oh my gosh, I'm going to stock up on so many of these, like hoard worthy. Looking at the scent notes, I'm surprised that I don't see lemon or lemongrass because it really is. Uh, I do, yeah, that I definitely, I'm smelling it again. I definitely do smell that in there. Uh, yeah, like an extra, kind of like an extra lemony lemongrass with that lavender and a little bit of the coconut. There's the coconut in the scent notes. The jasmine might be that smidgen of sweetness, although you really won't notice it. It's just rich and strong and just and lemony and it's just I can't even describe how good this scent is. And the throw is, which is very important, very strong, 4 out of 5. So I will definitely be stocking up on lots more. So there you have it. The 24 brand new Hudson 43 cents from Joann Fabric, which are made by Tuscany Candle. If you want to read a text version of this review, just go to waxmeltreviews.com and feel free to join our Facebook group where we discuss all different brands and scents of retail, store-bought wax melts, like Walmart wax, Sensationals, Tuscany, Yankee, anything you can buy at a store or a major company online, Scentsy, whatever. Feel free to join our Facebook group, which is you can find the link underneath this video and on our website at waxmeltreviews.com. Have a good day.